Welcome to the Pelvic Power Podcast. I'm your host, Penny Peterson. If you live with pelvic pain, you have landed in the exact right space you need to be in. I'm a yoga teacher that helps people get out of their head and into their body through yoga and holistic living so that they can take back their power, as well as harness their own inner power to make a change in their life. Here you will learn from myself, other pelvic power experts and advocates on how you can support yourself on your journey and make the journey so much easier. Welcome. Welcome back to another episode of the Pelvic Power Podcast. I am so excited that you are here today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Right now, I am ovulating. Someone said to me yesterday, "You look so good today." And I just looked at her and I was like, yeah, it's because I'm ovulating, obviously. But right now I'm ovulating. My Ellis is feeling pretty okay today. It has been feeling a little bit spicy since I got home from Greece. So right now, if you're not watching me on YouTube, if you are, I am wearing a long dress, no underwear underneath, and that is what I love about this time of year, is that I can wear a long dress, don't have to wear any underwear, and I'm letting my vulva breathe at the same time. I definitely recommend it. I recommend it coming to yoga when you're going places. If you feel like the pants are just like bothering you a lot right now, wear a long skirt, wear a long dress. Get out going, go to dinner, hang out with your friends, no underwear underneath. As I was saying, come to yoga. You can wear a long dress and still do the movement. Let your vulva breathe. This is the time to do that. We're towards the end of the summer, unfortunately. But I'm also looking forward to fall, so I shouldn't say that. But we can be wearing a long dress right now with no underwear underneath. Just my little tip for the day. So, recently, I have been talking about higher self and becoming the version that you know that you are, or the version of you that you want to become. And I want to dive in a little bit deeper into that today. Also, when it comes to not just pelvic pain, first off, I want to say that you are so much more than your pelvic pain. You are so much fucking more than your pelvic pain. And I invite you to start treating yourself that way. You are so much more than your pelvic pain. Say it with me. I am so much more than my pelvic pain. And right now, you might want to slap me across the face. Totally fine with that, depending on where you are on your journey. But we're going to dive into higher self, higher the person that you see yourself becoming. So I do a lot of inner work. I love to do this work. A friend came over yesterday. We went for a walk and we often talk about what we're celebrating. We started with that yesterday. We started with what we're celebrating when it comes to ourselves. And then also one thing that you're working on. And it's more than just, I find that sometimes it's just like the superficial things that we might be working on. But what are you actually working on within yourself? And I find this to be so incredible, interesting, and I love having these conversations with my friends. So yeah, I was out with a friend. We were talking about what are we working on right now and where are we heading. And I love to do this work. I do a lot of reading. I just got another book about shadow work. I love to do this work. And on my algorithm right now on TikTok, like I am so much into magic and manifestation and witchiness and quantum leaping. So that is something that I want to dive into today, specifically quantum leaping. So within the quantum field, there are several different versions of you living different timelines. And they often say that you can timeline jump. You can do a little jump into a new timeline for yourself. And right now, you're living on this timeline. You have pelvic pain, and you might have pelvic pain on several different timelines that you are going through. If you have seen Spider-Man, you know what I'm talking about. If you're into Marvel, you definitely know what I'm on about right now. But how there are several different timelines where you might be living with pelvic pain. However, in one timeline, you are very successful at one thing. In one timeline, you are an artist. You're very artistic. You're very creative. In another timeline, you are helping thousands and thousands of people. So there are several different timelines for you. Stay with me. I might not be the best at explaining this. However, I hope it's going to come together in the end. So right now, you're living on this timeline. You live with pelvic pain. You want to jump onto another timeline. Or maybe you're thinking, I want to feel like this in my life, or I want to accomplish this, or I can actually see myself be this person. Again, who is the person that you want to become? And also your higher self. I think that we all have that connection with our higher self, whether we're aware of it or not. It all depends on how much we're into this kind of thing. Okay, so I can feel myself really being my higher self when I'm teaching, specifically when I'm ovulating, when I'm teaching, when I'm ovulating. I can feel like my higher self, the person that I know that I am within myself. I'm standing so sure in that person when I'm teaching. And I had someone leave class the other day. There were a couple people leaving class and they were like, I don't understand how your classes go by so fast. And I was like, yeah, I know. They feel like 10 minutes. And they're like, oh, they do that for you too. And that's when I know that I'm passionate about something. I'm doing something that stimulates my soul. I'm doing something that brings me closer to who I am supposed to be. So we all live different lives. One thing that we do have in common in this space is that we live with pelvic pain. Now, if you're watching TikTok videos about manifestation, about quantum leaping, places that you want to go to, if you're like me and you're watching these videos, I saw a video about 2 days ago, and there was this guy portraying, okay, this is what you want to manifest. He was talking to himself basically. So it was a scenario. He was sitting in an office, he was talking to himself, and the himself wanted to manifest something. He's like, okay, this is what you want to manifest. Do you want it now or do you want it later? Do you want it straight away or do you want to ponder a little bit on it? Then you got a choice. Okay, I want to ponder a little bit on it. Okay, great. Continue on with your life. And then there was the second scenario. I want this right now. Okay, these are the things that you have to do for yourself. That you have to do for yourself to get what you're manifesting, what you're working towards becoming your highest self. And there was like a list of things that this person needed to do. Stop doom scrolling, for example. Stop eating bananas. Like there was no explanation to it. And it's kind of funny because I've been diving a lot into this when it comes to myself and also look at from a pelvic pain's perspective. Okay, we want to feel better. We live with pelvic pain. What is maybe, we've spoken about this before, perhaps not be the best for your pelvic pain or for where you want to go and how you want to feel in your life. Also, when it's not just when it comes to pelvic pain, but how do you want to feel in life? What kind of relationships do you want to have? How fulfilling do you want to feel in life? What is perhaps not helping you getting there? So I think the doom scrolling is a really great example of this. So this is something that I often get stuck in. Doom scrolling, scrolling on social media. Another thing is comparisonitis. If you're comparing yourself to someone else's journey, someone else lives with pelvic pain, someone else has gotten so much further than you have. They're on a completely different journey than you are, and you just really want to get there and you're comparing yourself to them. Comparisonitis or comparison is the thief of joy. I think I read that somewhere. That is something that I've taken with me, but it's the thief of joy, of pleasure, of all the good things, comparing yourself to someone else. So, doom scrolling. Okay, maybe I should do that more or do that less. Prioritizing my sleep instead of scrolling on social media. There are so many things that we could be doing instead of what we're actually doing when it comes to our pelvic pain. And it's very easy to fall into the whole like judging yourself for it a little bit, feel like I'm not doing enough. And that's not the feeling that I want us to go for here. Instead, look at your life from an outside perspective of like, okay, where am I maybe not treating myself the best in where I want to go and how I want to feel, how juicy I want life to be, and the person that I want to become. Maybe you want to be less angry. Maybe you want to feel more connected to other people. Like we live in a life where specifically social media takes up so much of our time and just like being on our phones and just not being connected to other people. And how is that robbing us from all the good things in life that might be making you feel better when it comes to your pelvic pain? just connecting with other people, co-regulating with other people, being in a space with other people where you are not on your phone, where you are not watching TV and being on your phone at the same time. So instead of stepping into the judgment of like, oh, I should not be doing this, I should not be doing this, I invite you to just do a little inventory. Okay, where in my life can I maybe shift things around a little bit where I am not actually, or I'm not taking that desired action that I might need to take. And it also comes down to like the capacity that you have within your nervous system to do these things. And that's why I'm saying take inventory of all the small things that you can do in life right now. So, for example, this morning I was going to eat breakfast and I was like, okay, should I continue the course that I'm doing right now? I'm doing another training, or should I be watching my TV show? And I sat with it for a little bit and I was like, okay, right now, today, that might be different from tomorrow. Right now, today, I'm feeling good. I'm ovulating. I'm feeling on fire. This energy that I have within me right now, I could harness that energy to actually carry me forward and where I want to be and where I want to go. Okay, so I'm going to continue the course because I have so many other courses that I want to do. And I said to myself, until I finish this course, I'm not allowed to sign up for another course. That is the end of it. But I also want to do all these courses. So I could have been like, no, I just want to lazy on the couch, eat my breakfast, and watch TV, which is totally fine. That's probably what I'm going to do tomorrow. But right now, when I was thinking about my higher self and where I want to go, okay, I'm going to continue this course because I want to finish this course. Or, for example, I'm going to do a workout later. And this applies to anyone that lives with chronic pain too. Okay, I'm going to do a workout. I know that movement is great for me, but also I'm nursing an injury. How can I work with that injury, even though it might feel like so tedious to do all these little exercises that you need to do for a freaking injury that you've been dealing with for a while, and you're over it, okay? You're over it by now. But I also know that, okay, I want to feel a specific way in the future. So I need to do these tedious little exercises that I need to do right now to support my injury because I want to feel a specific way in my future. I want to be able to move properly. I want to be able to do my yoga practice properly. I want to be able to lift my god kids, whatever that may be. I want to feel a specific way. Okay, so I need to plan my training around my rehab, around those tedious little fucking exercises that I have to do because they are important. I'm working towards my higher self and how I want to feel. I'm just giving you some example of my day ahead and the things that I'm working on right now, and maybe that will give you some tips and tricks on how you can look at your own life too. And then I teach a couple classes. I come home tonight. I know that it's a Friday today. I know that on a Friday night, I'm probably gonna want to sit and watch TV and just chill. But there's another way that I can also chill that I know will be a lot more regulating for my nervous system, and that is having a bath. Having a bath with my book. So I'm like, okay, when I come home tonight, a part of me wants to sit on the couch, chill, and scroll at the same time as I'm watching TV. First of all, I'm doing several different things at the same time, watching TV, scrolling, and probably eating at the same time too. Like, how is that maybe contributing to dysregulation within myself, and how is that impacting my pain? Or if I eat my dinner, maybe I finish that half episode that I have left, then I actually turn off my TV, put my phone on sleep mode, which has become really important for me when I'm looking after myself, get into the bath. I have a bath, low lights, reading my books, lighting a bunch of candles. Maybe I'm doing a little intentional, little ritual as I step into the bath, just so that I can wake up feeling refreshed tomorrow because I know that I have to teach yoga classes tomorrow too, and I still want to feel the best that I possibly can. And I am ovulating right now. I am feeling the best that I can, but I also know what phase is coming after ovulation. It's fucking luteal phase. And I know that I'm going to be struggling. There's going to be struggles along that way. So, how can I support myself right now to support future planning? That is super important. So, if you had a list in front of you right now, Step one, where do you want to go? How do you want to feel? How do you want your pelvis to feel? How do you want to show up for yourself? What kind of person do you want to be that supports yourself? Not just your pelvis, but your entire being. You have a list. Okay, what would be on that list that you might have to leave behind for you to actually step in to the next version of you, for you to shift your timelines? Step into a version of you that live with less pain, that feels a lot more hope, that feels empowered, that feels strong, that feels like they can carry themselves forward, that is a great person, that is a good friend, that is an amazing partner, a loving mother, parent, whatever that may be. How can you work towards that? And it doesn't have to be those big things. It can just be stop eating bananas. Okay? It can be something small. And maybe you don't even know. So that's what I'm saying. Start to do a little investigative journey within yourself. Okay, look at your life. Where in my life am I maybe, where can I maybe shift some things around so that I become the person that I'm working towards becoming the person that I know that I am deep inside of me? Another thing that I'm actually working on right now, and this is kind of vulnerable for me to share. I don't know why I talk about vulvas and vaginas and masturbation all the time, but this is vulnerable for me to share. I have, I am such an open and happy person, but I can feel myself becoming very constricted sometimes. Like I kind of close in when there's a lot of other people around me. And it feels like I'm putting on a face, a facade. And I don't like feeling that way because I can also tell that that is dysregulating my nervous system. I'm kind of going into fawning mode a little bit. I'm people pleasing, and I find that really hard. So one thing that I have started doing for myself to work towards becoming the person that I know that I am is more eye contact. Specifically when I'm teaching yoga, more eye contact. Because I feel so much on display when I'm teaching. If I have a class of 40 people, I know that so many people are watching me. And I've gotten so many different comments about my body or how I'm looking, if I'm tired. And that is also very hard for me as a person. That is hard for anyone. But that all of that also contributes that I'm kind of closing in instead of opening up and standing fully in who I am as a person. And I don't want to feel closed in. I'm like, life is too fucking short. I want to feel good. So when I've been teaching, sometimes I have a really hard time making eye contact because I don't know what kind of energy is going to come towards me. I'm very receptive to energy. That is one thing about me. Like, I am very receptive to energy. When I open that door to let all these people in for yoga class, I have to like take a deep breath and I have to be like, okay, I need to stand my ground and be myself. And sometimes I just become this facade. And I don't like that. I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to walk through life like that. And I want to feel connected to other people because connection is so important in life. And again, I'm coming back to social media, but I also think that's one of the things that you're getting so used to just like connecting with people through a screen that you're kind of becoming like numb towards connecting with people in real life. But maybe that's just me. So, yeah, I invite you to look at your life right now. Okay, where do I want to go? How do I want to be? How do I want to feel? How can you make a list of things that you can do for yourself that you can shift a little bit? So, I want to start working with my dilators. For that, do you have everything that you need? Do you have the dilators? Do you have the loop? Maybe you can just leave the dilators out. A little teeny tiny step. Maybe you're not ready to work with your dilators yet. Leave them out so you actually see them. Don't put them in the bottom of the drawer or the back of the closet. Leave them out so you see them. You're reminded of them. Befriend them. Maybe just leave one dilator out. The small toe dilator out that you're going to start working with. You have your lube. Maybe you start to practice your pelvic floor yoga, your breathing, your stretches. Have you found any top stretching that you like to do? What are you doing first thing in the morning when you're waking up? How are you meeting yourself on that day? How you need to be met? How are you caring for yourself before you go to bed? how much time are you actually spending on screen time? So start to poke around in your life and think about, okay, what timeline do I want to step into today? And let's make it into a whole journey, baby. Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you had any epiphanies, if you have any questions, you know where to find me. I appreciate you so much for tuning in. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you a bunch, and I will see you next week. Bye. If you loved this episode, I will be so grateful if you could leave a rate and review in your podcast app. It would mean so much to me. If you're tuning in on YouTube, feel free to hit subscribe and leave a little comment down below about what you learned about yourself today. Thank you so much, and you have no idea how much I appreciate you for being here.